Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is a story about Huntokar, said a voice on the radio.
A voice you had never heard before, though she has been speaking to you your whole life.
I am Huntokar, the Destroyer. You've already been destroyed. You just don't know it yet.
Hey, baby, it's me, Symphony.
Ooh. Hello, Babe. It is me, Meg.
I'm a baby and I'm Hal.
And this is Good Morning Night Vale, the show where people from Night Vale listen to Night Vale and then talk about Night Vale and talk about what you think about Night Vale. So if you like Night Vale, don't change that channel. This is not a radio show. And it is April 14th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Tax day is not tomorrow. It's Monday. So don't forget to set your taxes forward 3 hours.
Woo, phew. I know, I actually panicked about that, but we're going to get them done, baby.
Filed mine at the end of March.
Oh, nice.
Finished mine today.
You're great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Way to go, Hal. Way to go, Hal. Yeah, way to go. So we did it, guys. We're here. This is the episode description.
Let's talk about it.
This is a story about Huntokar.
Okay, my friends. I was fearful of this day. I was scared. I was shitting. I was throwing up. I was crying. I was so nervous. And I loved this episode. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was frightening. It made me feel small. It made me feel huge. I loved it. The voice acting was amazing.
Yes.
Like, absolutely amazing. So big props to Tina Parker, obviously.
What were you nervous about?
I was nervous.
What had you shitting and throwing up?
I was nervous because I was like, this is gonna mess up my reality of Night Vale. I was afraid that it was gonna be the end. I know it's not the end. Like logically, I know there's like currently 250 something episodes. Like
Sure.
it didn't end at 109, but this character has been so pervasive for so long.
Yeah.
To finally be confronted with that character is a big deal. Like I felt like I was holding my breath.
You know, in narrative storytelling, especially serialized and continuous and years-long storytelling, when questions arise, these big questions that feel like the driving force of like, what is the weird thing? You know, what is all this weirdness? And there's part of you that thinks, well, maybe it'll never get answered. Because oftentimes when things are answered, you lose something.
Yeah.
Just like the will they or won't they, generally when the couple gets together in a sitcom, you've run out of, well, okay, now they're together.
Yeah.
Now what? And some handle it well, some don't. But I do think that this, especially in a world that's been so open to interpretation, that to have some of those questions answered is even scarier because it's almost like, are we losing some agency here? But I think it was beautiful.
Yes.
It's all the things that you described, the same. I was kind of floored by it.
Yeah. And then just from a tonal standpoint, from a style standpoint, it's completely different than, I mean, it's single voice monologue narration, but Tina's voice is so different from Cecil's and her delivery is so different than a news report.
Yeah.
You know, it is like this sort of intimate, confessional, very slow paced, delicate, feminine thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a brilliant performance.
It really is.
Like all the notes, hits every note and really pulls you in and has you sort of sitting, not on the edge of your seat in suspense, but just this sort of like, I want to hear what Huntokar says next. I'm drawn in and engaged immediately.
Yes.
Which is really impressive.
I was very much invested in what she had to say, the stories that she could tell about like this time before in the mudwombs. Let's get into it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's get into it. Let's start at the very beginning, the mudwomb.
It's a very good place to start. So the first thing I wrote was, another person's voice, which we've already discussed, Tina. It was amazing. But the mudwombs. Okay, so in the time before, and there were these people, and they were just sitting there, or these deities, these beings, these whatever. The glow cloud, which that's the thing I loved about this episode too. It just brought all these things, that pieces and characters back together, and you're like, so, and you're like, your brain is going, poof, 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 whoa, whoa, and then he went, whoa, you know that Vine or whatever, where he's like, it's an interview of a guy getting interviewed after he was surfing, and he's like, yeah, and the water went, shua, shua, shua. Okay, I'll send it to you guys later. Anyways, that is what my brain was like. So the mudwombs, time before, there's the woman from Italy, the far-off prince, the glow cloud, and then Huntokar. And they were there forever, not doing nothing. They were just like chilling. And I was like, gods, ? Or maybe they're just like some sort of higher beings. And then all this stuff was created. What do you guys think about that? Like the woman of Italy being one of those beings. Oh, and the 5-headed dragons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like the distant prince I had clocked, but the woman from Italy, I was like, I did not think that she was a god. And then the distant prince, I was like, I know you're weird, and I know there's something here. I mean, I know the woman from Italy is weird too, but she seems more like like a figment of horror than a deity. But then, hey, that's what Huntokar said.
It's weird to be listening to this episode while I'm watching Moon Knight, which is also for those who listen to this that are also Marvel fans, is getting into even more of the deities and the gods of that universe. So the idea of them being born, and I don't know, it's fascinating to me. It's the stuff I loved when I was a kid. I got really into Greek mythology, like really, really into it.
Yeah, same.
Everything in the school library, everything in the local library, kids and adults, just anything I can get my hands on. So I love the mythology of gods and their creation. I love the woman from Italy dipped her hands into the stars, running her fingers through the great glowing coils of the universe. Like That is just, it's really weighty, and it gives me really strong visuals throughout.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get in and analyze this episode for me because I was so pulled into it I just enjoyed it as an audience member, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was that, but also I was getting all these pieces of information that and that was just so satisfying to me throughout, that made me really happy. And those experiences, I was like, yes, I love how she was like, she thought she was being helpful, but she just destroys things, that her appearance scares people, but she didn't realize that, which I've always thought, even with Greek mythology and things like that, and our human minds not being able to fully comprehend something bigger than us, right? Something more powerful than us, a being that is greater than we are. And just not being able to actually understand, which makes sense because of the angels, how they're no, they're not angels, and that all that thing, because we just can't give in to admitting that something is existing of that magnitude. But yeah, I loved that. And then it also got into the multiverse-ness of this, when she starts out saying that there's many Cecils and many Night Vales and all that stuff. And that's where we get into the issue with the fracturing of the universes.
Yeah. It indicates that Cecil is special because she says, I tried Cecil, sweet Cecil, who I tried to guide toward the truth, but I never could quite say the words, I am the destroyer. So yeah, so she was trying to use Cecil, and then there's the whole part about the many Cecils. So it's I say Cecil singular, but there are many of them. There's a Cecil who wouldn't listen. There's the Cecil who listened but couldn't comprehend. Yada yada yada. So all the different versions of Cecil, but yeah, that I guess this episode kind of confirms that Cecil is some sort of special, because the God is trying to channel and guide through him.
But again, small human mind, no comprehende, right? I mean, if I know that I don't believe in, the man up there, but I do think that the reason that we don't hear anything talking to us is because we don't understand the message. We don't understand the things that are being said to us. So, the whole thing with angel numbers and understanding nature and things like that. I think those could be messages that we don't understand, but it's a little bit more direct in Night Vale when all this weird shit is happening, right?
Yeah. I also love the concept that she pulled Night Vale out of the rest of the world and sort of sequestered it in an attempt to protect it and watch over it. So that explains why we don't, the things that are normal everywhere else don't exist there, because it has been separated out on purpose in an attempt to save it, to keep it pure, to whatever, which obviously doesn't work. But I also love the idea, we have since the dawn of civilization, since we could form thoughts and try to rationalize and justify things, religion has been a way to explain, so the Greeks say, well, why does the sun go across the sky? Well, it's because it's Apollo carrying in a fiery chariot.
Right.
It goes the same way every day, and that's why we have the sun. And the reason why we suffer is that there are gods for whom we are playthings, and they want to torture us and they want to see us do poorly. It's almost a way to explain the unexplainable, and also to create a lack of accountability. Well, I just have, this happened because of the gods, because some playful god was messing with me. So this kind of supposes, all right, well, that's what's going on here. The glow cloud controls minds. The distant prince likes to sort of cruelly play with things. The woman from Italy is terrorizing everybody and everything. So it's an interesting take on all of those tropes or just realities of of the idea of a collection of gods to explain it.
Right.
And then there's the reality that we know. So going back to 1983 with the Able Archer, where there was the standoff where the drill was misconstrued and we almost had, we almost had a nuclear war, but we didn't because it was realized in the last minute. But in the reality of Night Vale, it did happen.
Right.
And that is why she had to break them out. So there's like this sort of reality, and it's a lot. So there's the reality that we know where 1983, the world did not explode. But in their reality, 1983, the world did explode. So that's when that got chiseled out of there. So it's like bizarro.
Mm-hmm.
It's opposite day.
Yeah. But that, and that whole thing, I wrote in big letters, I was like, Bomb! I'm like, we had been getting pieces and parcels of this in past episodes through tapes and little hints and clues throughout many of the episodes that we have covered, these 109 episodes. But we've noticed that some of the people in our town of Night Vale had a little bit of forethought here. Like Steve, he was able to see the lines and the dots and all the stuff in the sky. Mm-hmm. John Peters saw the great, I remember him saying how he saw the great darkness in the sky, things like that. When we heard about the men with the crates, the one who's not tall and the one who's not short, that whole thing, all of those things coming back together have really, hearing her side of the story. I feel like it's one of those movies like Pulp Fiction where you're getting different people's side of the story, different people's experiences, around the same 24 hours or whatever, or movies of that ilk. And I just love that because we've been existing within the Night Vale that Cecil is living, right? We're through this one lens, right? And being
our Cecil.
Yeah, our Cecil, yes. Cecil Palmer, the one in our reality. But then being able to see the other side of it from Huntokar's perspective was, I felt sad for her, scared for her, because she's tried, but she sounds exhausted. She can't save it, or she's done everything that she can, right? So it's also bittersweet because this godlike creature, this godlike person who has, for all intents and purposes, scared the living daylights out of people and been worshipped by people with the meat crowns and whatnot, is helpless to do anything, right?
The smell.
I just want to posit at this point that the meat crowns might be the weirdest thing about Night Vale.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how you imagine the meat crowns, but here's how I do. That it's ground meat that has been shaped, but not with anything, not around anything. It's just clumps of points of ground meat on your head. Very unstable. Do they put an egg in it to keep it together? What do they do? Yeah, and a bread. Is it like a meatball?
Yeah, you gotta.
Almost some breadcrumb.
Some Progresso.
Okay, tell us.
My mind canon for soft meat crowns is if they're like sausages.
Okay.
And they're like a balloon animal hat.
That's pretty good.
I love that.
I like that.
What do you think the meat crowns?
Mine is like the framework of a crown.
Okay.
But like kebab style. So there are cubed raw meat all over it. So you could have different patterns, like, there's some lamb and beef with chicken and turkey. So it kind of sets it off color-wise. And the smell.
Do you think it makes you more high class to have multiple meats? Or
it's just crafty.
Okay. You just
it's just a way to express yourself. I don't want to get into the better or worse. I've been wearing the same T-shirt for 2 days. It's not my place to say.
You're like, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Please write in and tell us what your mind canon for the soft meat crown is.
Yes, very important. Immediately.
You've got an assignment, Night Vale.
The only reason that I'm wearing a fresh shirt is because the shirt I was wearing prior, my daughter got completely soaking wet because I was giving her a bath, and she thought it would be a good idea to climb out of the bath during the bath onto me.
Sure. I mean, it's a good idea for her.
Yeah.
Didn't work out well for you.
Well, yeah. Just needed a new shirt.
Exactly.
Did anybody else catch the shade that was kind of thrown at the faceless old woman by Huntokar? I mean, I don't know if it's shade, but more like she said she was a closed loop of a person. Ouch.
The shade.
I mean, how is that nice? A closed loop of a person.
It doesn't.
Girl, it would be on site. If somebody said that about me, I'd be like.
It would be on site.
Yeah, I'd be like, pull up, bitch. And then we would fight.
Step.
No, I don't fight. I'm too pretty. I just talk a whole lot of shit. This episode is definitely explicit.
Pull up.
That's good. Yeah. I mark them all explicit.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Because there's no way that they're not.
I don't know if have either of you seen Spider-Man No Way Home?
I haven't seen it. I've been wanting to sit down and watch it because it's one of the only Marvels I haven't seen.
Well, it deals with the multiverse and the image of all of these realities collapsing onto one another. I feel like I have a strong visual from No Way Home in my head to what that looked like.
Honestly, I think of the Doctor Strange stuff.
Yeah, well, he's involved in that scene. He's there trying to seal all these cracks in the because the multiverse is trying to come in.
Oh, I did see it. You're right.
Purple.
Yeah, I did see
he's on top of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
That's what comes to mind immediately. By the way, Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, coming to theaters May 6th.
I wish they was giving us some money for that. That'd be great.
I wish. I wish they would just send me a copy
Marvel,
of
you
it.
got deep pockets.
Yeah, I don't want to go out.
Disney.
Don't make me go to the drive-in and watch bad. Like the way that Black shows up on a drive-in theater is already bad.
Oh, it's great.
Then people who drive in like, oh, it's been an hour. Let me drive in with my freaking high beams on.
Yeah.
But the things we do for love.
Don't be that guy.
The things we do for love.
Wait, do you take your wife to the drive-in?
She will not go, and she does not like that I go. But what are we gonna do about it? I go, I get a bucket of popcorn, I get my snack. Last time I hadn't eaten, I had 2 hot dogs, popcorn and candy.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah, but I didn't like shit my pants or fart anywhere. It was fine.
And you had the windows rolled up? How did you have 2 hot dogs and popcorn and not fart for 3 hours?
I held it like a champ. Maybe I did. Who knows? Who knows what happened?
Were you alone in the car?
Yeah. No, I invited strangers in. Said, you there, boy, you look cold. Come in from out of the cold.
I've got a nice popcorn.
Sit in my Honda. I'll give you a farthing's worth of popcorn. Oh, the snack bar is so good. Oh, I'm actually excited. I'm excited to go back to this movie theater.
I love a drive-in. It brings a nostalgia.
It does.
But the last time I went was for holiday movies, like around, and it's cold as hell here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fogging up the windows. And so like we had to keep like turning the car on and then like defrosting. And we couldn't get the sound to work right.
Oh, have not had that issue here because it's just a radio station. So everything works well. And it's California, so you don't have bad weather. But if you're in SoCal or somewhere that is a decent climate year round and you go to the drive-in, get your car washed first. You don't think about that. But if you have a dirty windshield, it's going to be less enjoyable to watch. Get that car clean.
Sure.
Do it for yourself. Get some Windex. You can just do that part. Turning into Andy Rooney. Well, these people don't wash their cars. In my day, we washed our cars. We went to the drive-in.
I've never been to a drive-in.
Wait, what?
Oh, you should go.
Oh.
I should go.
Do you know what?
Drive-ins are great. They're nice.
We almost went to go see Jackass Forever at a drive-in, but it was just like, we'd have to bring the baby. And it was like, we'd have to bring the sleeping baby to the drive-in to see Jackass Forever.
Did you watch it on Paramount Plus?
I did. We have watched it.
Outside of the spider stuff, I really enjoyed it. I was going to say, once the spider, they're like, look at these fangs. I was like, no, bye, no, skip.
Delete. Get rid of my subscription.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it as well. I love Jackass.
The new blood was good. Poopies.
Poopies. Yeah. Oh.
It's a simple things, you guys. It's a simple thing.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It is. Anyway, back to this show. Anyway, so also this is sort of like a really beautiful apology.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she ever says like, I'm sorry, but there's just a lot of like taking responsibility and not making excuses.
No, I don't think she doesn't apologize exactly, but she definitely regrets things that she did, because she does say like she wouldn't, if she had to do it again, she wouldn't do it like that. Like she was like, I tried to save them and I destroyed them. I think she feels bad.
Yeah. The gods are about to go to war.
Or whatever that means for a god. Yeah, I know she doesn't want that. Oh, I like that she said that damn beagle. Fuck that beagle. Yeah, because the dragons are pissed. So that's interesting that, because of the whole Hiram thing, that was set into motion so long ago, it seems like. And Hadassah's been furious and all the other dragons have been like pissed. And like little does Night Vale know that they kind of screwed the pooch here by further angering them. So I hope we find Hiram again. And I don't know what you do about the one, but I just want peace. I want everyone to feel peaceful.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make for a very good story, right?
And then nothing happened. Meg, the line of apology I like the most is, you'll understand that she destroyed only out of a loving desire to save you. May you perceive her as foolish and naive rather than monstrous.
Yeah.
What a great thing to hope for, is like, I've done the wrong thing, but for the right reasons. And I hope that you will see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she says intentions never matter. I am the destroyer.
Right. Whether she intended to be a creator or whatever, like, unfortunately, she is who she is and she could only do what she could do, which is a bummer and sad because, like, if you're like, everything I touch, I destroy.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And she's just chill vibes too. Like she never, like she was just like, they love me. Let's hang out with them. I got to save them. They love me. I used to sit in a lake for 10,000 years. Like she's like the god of Night Vale is the most chill vibes god.
I was going to say the most emo, like just like, I love it. I love it. So I'm not so spooked out and sad. Like I'm more sad and I more feel for Huntokar. So now if I see a Huntokar out there, I will not run away immediately. Well, now because of COVID, but I will give you a knowing nod from far away.
Yeah. So we get towards the end of this episode and we're not in a good place.
Nope.
Cecil, sweet Cecil, whose life lies directly on the fault lies of this broken reality. He narrates his own ending without realizing it is his ending. He does not understand what is happening to him.
Right?
So we're like, okay.
But do any of us really? You know what I mean? Like isn't that life? Like you don't know what's going to happen. We don't have like a book that says, okay, and then she lived fine for like 70 more years and
you have
then
hopes and fears.
She died, on this date. Yeah, you have hopes and fears, and that's what keeps you going on and moving and striving and trying to, do stuff for your life and for your family. But like, woof.
But does your life lie directly on the fault lines of a broken reality?
Maybe. Who knows?
It certainly feels like it these days.
I know.
She had to put a name to it.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. These past 2 to 4 years have definitely felt like we're on the fault line of a broken reality.
I'm standing on the precipice of a broken reality. Sounds fun.
I'm into it.
Well, let's see. Well, how are they going to get us out of this pickle? This episode, they answer a lot of questions, but then they ask so many more.
I guess we're going to find out.
I know.
Soon.
Up next, we hear from fans and friends of the podcast, but first, a conversation about this episode's weather. This episode's weather was Full Metal Black by the Royal They. Loved it. This was heavy rock. I love a lady-fronted rock group, and this song made me it was perfect for, I think, this episode. I also made me feel really punk, I wanted to wear leather and kick a garbage can over and maybe go skateboarding. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like this little punk tune and this little punk band, the Royal They. They're a punk band out of Brooklyn, New York, on the King Pizza label, which is also the same label as the Rizzos, who we have had weathers from before. They used to be a big Brooklyn punk band, toured around a lot, and then they I think they're still making music, but they've kind of gotten their own way during the pandemic. The lead singer guitarist, she is a doctor now. She's a medical doctor. She graduated med school.
I saw that on their Bandcamp.
Yeah. So they're out there in the world doing it.
Yeah, it's a banger.
And, I think it's a banger.
Yeah. Also, Full Metal Black is just ooh, that sounds
yeah, it's a great name.
Really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a color of a lipstick or something, or the color you could get a really cool car or something.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that sounds sexy.
Full Metal Black. You know, it's not sexy.
What?
But delicious. A calzone.
Maybe a little.
Slice in.
A fanzone calzone.
Fanzone calzone.
Maybe a little sexy. Yum, yum, yum.
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
Okay, we hear from Ivy. Ivy writes, "Hi Meg, Symphony and Hal. I hope this is a good time to email you about episode 109, A Story About Huntokar. I'd say it's a perfect time. This is one of my favorite episodes of Night Vale. As a kid, I wanted to be a witch. Who didn't?" That was me saying that. "I've always been interested in mythology, and I've always believed the world was more magical than we give it credit. A few years ago, I started dipping my toe into paganism, researching different gods and mythologies to see if I connected to any of them. Unfortunately, I found that many popular gods/goddesses were not exactly people I'd want to worship. So many old stories are about gods doing terrible things because they're jealous or fickle or simply because they feel like it. Then I heard this episode. Listening to Huntokar's story, I fell in love with her. I know she technically destroyed the world, but she did it out of love for her people. I wish more gods acted out of love for their worshippers instead of their own self-interests. I like that Huntokar is just trying to do her best, even if it ends up being catastrophically wrong. Anyways, 3 years later, I am a practicing witch. I don't work with any mythological gods, just the moon and my Night Vale tarot cards. I still love Huntokar, and I made a cool mask of her, which I was planning to wear to the live show last year. I love the show, and I think you guys are awesome. Thank you for all you do, Ivy."
Oh, Ivy.
And then Ivy sent pictures of the mask, which I can put on the Patreon so people can see what this really super cool Huntokar mask looks like that Ivy made.
So good.
I also dig the dining room table it's sitting on.
Yeah. It's a nice dining room table. I liked what Ivy said about just trying to do their best, because I think that's a lot of, so the magic of Night Vale itself is that it's good people just trying to do their best.
Yeah.
And I guess it makes sense that the god of Night Vale would be a god just trying to do their best. And of course it goes catastrophically wrong, but not out of malice.
But yeah, I wouldn't consider Huntokar one of the people that just is really bad at their job, though. Because they are really doing their best. And unfortunately, there's circumstances that were out of their control. Honestly, it's not Huntokar's fault that people got the bomb thing, that they were going to bomb each other, right?
Uh-uh.
No.
Huntokar didn't make them do that. So I feel like, you're doing the best with the situation at hand. So thanks, Ivy. Up next, we have Katie. Katie writes, "Hello. I hope this email finds you well and that I am not too late to write in about a story about Huntokar. I love this episode and think it's important because it represents the beautiful paradox at the heart of Welcome to Night Vale. Huntokar's story explains exactly what's been going on and why Night Vale is so weird. But because the explanation is parallel universes falling in on each other in a way our mortal minds cannot fathom, it leaves a lot of room for weird shit and allows for the lack of rational timeline and universal rules. I love listening to other people's fan theories, but never created any of my own because I don't see the Night Vale universe as a finite space. To me, it is a Looney Tunes universe with few or no consequences, or a surrealist realm where things are creepy and profound and gorgeous and do not make any rational sense. And that's okay. Just like life, something does not have to make sense to be art or to touch your soul. You just have to fucking like it. So yes, I think this episode is great as it both explains everything and also says that anything goes. Anyway, I love your podcast. Y'all make me snort laugh while listening at work, and you always make me hungry. Enjoy the attached pic of my dog, Cora, in a Night Vale brand collar as payment for listening to this ramble. I'll see you in Boulder in May. Best, KDP. P.S. The cult that owns the Yellow Deli might have caused a big fire near Boulder around the New Year. They are still investigating, but the deli is closed, and things are weird here now. P.P.S. I am a witch, and the amount of mystical shit in Welcome to Night Vale makes me very happy. Night Vale's tarot deck is also great for shadow work. Let me know if you ever want tarot readings." And then there's a very cute picture of a sweet little dog.
Cora.
Oh, in a very cute collar. We love it, Katie. And yes, you know what? I also have taken this approach to Night Vale many times. I just accept that everything is weird there. And I didn't really have too many like mind cannons other than like how certain things look or whatever. But like, as far as the story or why they're like that, I was willing to suspend my disbelief and just be like, that's just the way it is there. And I really like approaching a story that way. But it is cool to find out more about Huntokar, and I really enjoy your thoughts on that. It explains that it allows everything to be weird and gives us room for that. So thanks a lot, Katie.
Well, in case you thought the multiverse wasn't real, I have another Katie writing in. Katie writes...
What?
That's right. "Hello, wondrous tri-hosts. Since I first listened to it, this episode compelled me in its portrayal of hubris, haunting depictions of nuclear warfare, and more. But from a lore perspective, it is also very rich. The origins of the religion of Night Vale were fascinating as an explanation for some reasoning behind strange and arcane traditions, and how tragic it is that they are now devoid of meaning. As someone who briefly participated in a novel religion, hello to any mangoists listening, I enjoyed the creation myth and characterizations of the gods, as well as the foolishness of Huntokar. I loved the confirmation of the divinity of the glow cloud, all hail. Recently, I was struck by a fairly obvious theory about the planet of an awesome size lit by no sun. Although one could argue it is part of the multiverse, I think that it is either a Grim Reaper adjacent harbinger of death or a physical manifestation of the terrifying Night Vale afterlife. Instead of being summoned by some god of crossing over, the fated individual is irresistibly drawn to the place. The humanity of that makes it rather disturbing. The build-up of foreshadowing in very early episodes, such as the Squatter in the Earth Sciences Department, makes me wonder how much of Night Vale's backstory was mapped out from the beginning. Also, do his interpretations of the glowing lines and arrows in the sky qualify Steve as a prophet? Katie. Well, first of all, I think the one thing we've established in talking to Jeffrey and Joseph multiple times is that they did not plot this out from the beginning. And that's kind of the beauty of it, is it went off in the directions that it did, and then they found a time to tie things back together. And also, yes, Steve is a prophet. I like to think that this version of Steve, at least, can see what's going on. But I'm sure there are other versions of Steve that don't know, or that see it and dismiss it, or that see it and interpret it the wrong way. That's the beauty of the multiverse, Katie. That is it for this week. Thank you so much for listening and supporting Good Morning Night Vale, and welcome to Night Vale. Our next episode is 110, Matryoshka. Until then, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Meg Bashwiner, and Hal Lublin. It is edited by Felicia Dominguez and mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Special thanks to our fans who submitted their thoughts this week. Leave us a voicemail at 929-277-2050 or email us at info@goodmorningnightVale.com to share your theories and ask questions, or to tell us if you are a witch. This show is powered by our patrons like Freya, Greg Stovall, Hannah Jones, Hope Mazika, and James Lee. If you are interested in supporting this show in exchange for lots of fun, exclusive, insider hyper-cool kid content, check us out at patreon.com/goodmorningnightVale. For more info on this show, go to goodmorningnightVale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Night Vale Chat. Special thanks to Joella Knapp, Jeffrey Craner, and Joseph Fink. The Calzone ingredient of the week is saying it's probably just allergies.
I'm a witch too.